Space debris in the movie Gravity. Facts about the space debris in the movie. The debris was created by a Russian satellite being shut down by the Russians. At an orbital period of around 90 minutes, the debris was traveling from east to west. And as mentioned in the movie, the debris was traveling faster than a high-speed bullet, at a velocity of over 18,000 miles per hour. The destruction of the first satellite created a chain reaction of satellites being destroyed. The debris was caused a telecommunications shutdown. And then here's the movie.
ISS initiate emergency evacuation.
Copy all Houston engine work. Matt, immediate return to Explorer. Immediate return to Explorer.
Copy. Explorer, prep airlock.
Airlock engaged, ready to receive.
Houston, elaborate. Debris from the missile strike has caused a chain reaction, hitting other satellites and creating new debris. Traveling faster than a high-speed bullet up to its your altitude. How copy? Copy all. Put a bow on it, Dr. Stone.
I can't. The board is still initializing.
I'm not gonna ask you again.
1 second.
Not 1 second, now. Shut it down. That's an order.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm done. Kowalski, initiate emergency disconnect from the Hubble.
All right, Sharif, let's do this. Roger, Met. Houston, update? Well, we have a full-on chain reaction. It's been confirmed that it's the unintentional side effect of the Russians striking one of their own satellites.
They shut down their own satellite.
Right at disposal. Most likely a spy sat gone bad. Now shrapnel. Explorer ready to disengage HSD.
Lock releasing in 3, 2, 1.
Explorer, new data coming through. What's the blowback, Houston? It's not good. Most of our systems are gone. Debris chain reaction is out of control and rapidly expanding. Multiple satellites are down and they keep on falling. Define multiple satellites? Most of them are gone. Telecommunication systems are dead. Expect a communications blackout at any moment.
Kowalski, visual of debris at 9 o'clock.
Half of North America just lost their Facebook.
Explorer, repeat. Expect a communications blackout at any moment.
Copy that, Houston.
Explorer, this is Kowalski confirming visual contact with debris. Debris is from a BSC sat. You repeat. I have...
Dr. Stone requesting faster transport.
We have to go. We have to go, go, go.
Unity reports meteorological conditions. No go.
Houston, Explorer, copy.
Explorer, Dr. Stone requesting faster transport to Bay Area. Explorer, do you copy?
Explorer, permission to retrieve Dr. Stone.
Your go, Kowalski. Houston, Explorer, copy.
All right.
We've lost Houston.
Oh,
We've lost Houston.
I'm strapped. We need to get the hell out of here. Need some help there, man? No, don't wait for us.
Stuck!
Man down.
Houston, this
Man
is
down.
copy. Houston, Explorer, copy. Kowalski, repeat.
Explorer's been hit. Explorer's been hit. Astronaut is off structure. Dr. Stone is off structure. Dr. Stone, detach. You must detach. If you don't detach, that arm's going to carry you too far. Listen to my voice. You need to focus. I'm losing visual of you. In a few seconds, I won't be able to track you. You need to detach. I can't see you anymore. Do it now. Houston, I've lost visual of Dr. Stone. Houston, I've lost visual of Dr. Stone.
Okay, so in the movie, this scenario represents the Kessler effect, in which it's a scenario in which the density of space objects becomes too large in a low Earth orbit, that collisions between objects could cause a chain reaction that will create an increasing amount of space debris after each collision, which will consequently increase the likelihood of further collisions. The list of problems with this plot in the movie. The first one is that the space debris is traveling from east to west. The second one is that the Hubble and the Russian telescope have different orbits and also different heights of orbits. And then the telecommunication shutdown is also the last mistake. So first off, the debris is traveling from east to west. Most satellites travel from west to east or from pole to pole. This is due to the boost the rockets are carrying the satellites will receive due to Earth's rotational speed of over 1,000 miles per hour. The only nations with satellites that have a retrograde orbit are Israel and the US. This is due to the increased cost of having to launch into orbit against the direction of Earth's rotation. Now, if you look to the image to the right, that represents a retrograde orbit. As you can see, the Earth is spinning counterclockwise, and a retrograde orbit would be where the object is spinning clockwise, in the opposite direction of the Earth. The Hubble Space Telescope and the Russian satellites have different orbits and different heights. The Hubble Space Telescope orbits at an inclination of 28.5 degrees to the equator, and orbits at an altitude of around 340 miles above Earth. And the closest Russian satellite that I could find that most closely relates or is similar to the Hubble in altitude would be the Russian Nazda 6 satellite. But it orbits at an inclination of 98 degrees to the equator and at an altitude of 419 miles above the Earth. So if you look at the pictures here, the one on the left is the Nazda 6 satellite from the Russians, and from the right is a Hubble telescope. As you can see, the orbits are very different. The one on Nazda 6 is almost a perfect polar orbit, while the Hubble Space Telescope follows more closely to the equator of the Earth. And if you can see, the only place where they would meet would be somewhere around in Mexico, and completely opposite to that. So these two places they would meet, but the elevation of these objects are still way too different for them to actually be possible to meet. And for them to be meeting every 90 minutes is impossible because they go at different speeds, and so it would have to be perfect conditions for them to meet in the same place at the same time. Lastly, the telecommunication shutdown. Communication satellites are in a geostationary orbit. For satellites to achieve a geostationary orbit, they have to reach a height of about 22,236 miles above Earth. If the space debris began from a Russian satellite with a height around 350 miles above Earth, it would never be able to reach the communication satellites, and it would never cause the telecommunication shutdown that they speak about in the movie. There's a difference in altitude of 21,886 miles between the Hubble Space Telescope and geostationary orbit satellites. If you can see here, the big cluster of words to the left, closer to the Earth, that's around where the Hubble Space Telescope is, around here. And then over here, to the very far right in the last paragraph, the last big paragraph, that's around where the geostationary satellites orbit around. So as you can see, there's a very huge difference, and if there really was a destruction of a satellite that created the Kessler effect, it would never be able to reach the communication satellites that are orbiting way higher. And then these are my citations for the presentation.